Druid. Mark of the Lotus. Give your minions +1/+1. Um, no thanks. I already get to play 2 Power of the Wild and lots of other like good pump effects. I don't need to play one that's just dead if I'm behind or not going wide. I mean, if you have like some Violet Teacher thing that you need more cheap spells, maybe you can use it as filler there, but I'm not impressed. Jade Blossom, 3 mana. Summon a Jade Golem, gain an empty mana crystal. This card is awesome. Ramp is great. Obviously, 2 to 4 is much better than 3 to 5. But getting the Jade Golem train rolling early is real nice because they snowball real hard. I'm not sure that Druid is the best Jade Golem class. You know, all that being said, but I like me some ramp, especially in Druid. This card is just super great. Adam believes that I am in fact an awesome card, which I much appreciate. Jade Behemoth, 3/6 for 6, taunt, battlecry, summon a Jade Golem. I guess I should clarify for those that don't know what the Jade Golems are. There's a bunch of things that make a Jade Golem, and then each Jade Golem, the first Jade Golem, so say I play like turn 1 nothing, turn 2 hero power, turn 3 Jade Blossom, the Jade Golem is a 1/1. And then I play another Jade Blossom on the turn after, that one makes a 2/2. Then I play a Jade Behemoth, now this one that the Jade Behemoth makes is a 3/3, and so on all the way up to 30. Although by the time you get to around 10, they should be dead by then. So they just scale. And I'm pretty sure that Jade Golems are great. I just don't know if Druid is the class. Because Ace and Deuce says winning a bunch with Jade Golem, I'm only rank 11 right now though. Shaman is up there on my list of, I think Rogue is the best. I think Rogue is the most obvious ones. But, oh yeah, I didn't change the game on the stream. I guess I could do that. We're only like halfway done. Not even. Heathrow, yeah, I'm playing Heathcliff, the Fast and the Furious. There we go. Update. But that's great. Jade Idol. This card's really interesting too. Summon a Jade Golem or shuffle 3 copies of this card into your deck. The first use is good late, right? You don't really want to play a 1 mana 1/1, even if it makes your next thing a 2/2, unless you're really curving out hard. But on like turn 6, when your Jade Golems are up to like 4 or maybe even 5, then the fact that you can like make a Jade Golem and do something is insane. But the second ability is super interesting to me. Again, I'm going to go back to Magic because it's what I know. And it reminds me of Gaia's Blessing in the Baron, which is an Adrian Sullivan deck from like, you know, the mid-90s. But it was a control deck that would just use Gaia's Blessing, which shuffled 3 cards in the graveyard back into the deck, and then use another Gaia's Blessing on 2 cards and the first copy of Gaia's Blessing. And you just keep doing that, putting spells back into your deck. Its main use was for like deck density, but it also made it so that you could never deck, you could never mill out. So this can stop you from having to fatigue, right? Because not only does it give you 3 more cards into your library, but if you can set it up so that like you draw a card right away, so that they don't just mill the next 2 cards, you can just continue to do that. I think it's better with mill than against mill, because if you're against mill, they can just like combo kill you. Hey, Babam, how's it going? But if you are playing mill, then you can make sure that you win the fatigue race, even against Warrior, right? Even Warrior, when they're up to 70 health, if you have 1 copy of this card in your deck, then you'll win the fatigue battle. Vermin Sensei. 5 mana, 4/5. Battlecry, give a friendly beast +2/+2. Totally good rate. Totally great in Arena. Too expensive and small and bad, even for Beast Druid in Ranked. 3/3 for 3 Battlecry. If a friendly minion has 5 or more attack, gain +2/+2. This is closer. This is better than the last card that had this type of ability, because its starting rate is much better and its asking price is a lot lower. 5 instead of 6, and like you can play a 5 thing and a 3 mana thing in the same turn, but this stops you from, like, the other one made it really hard to do 2 things in a turn. You can just do this 2 things in a turn. Well, guys, Blessing Artist stops mill on its own. You weren't getting milled. You were just playing through your entire deck. Pilfered Power. 3 mana, gain an empty mana crystal for each friendly minion. I actually don't think this card is good, despite me loving Ramp, because these are 2 sort of conflicting ideologies. Having a bunch of minions and having them survive, and then using that to get mana for what? For your big spells? How are you playing all these big spells in your deck that can power this weenie powered card, you know? It's possible that there's some super glass cannon deck that can just use this with, like, Living Roots and, you know, some other sort of, like, sticky 1-drops where you can go, like, sticky 1-drop and then another sticky 1-drop or 2, and then coin Living Roots this thing to get, like, 2 more or 3 more mana, and then the rest of your deck is high-end stuff. But you're asking for a lot. Like, at that point, you should just be playing Ancestral Memories, or whatever that card's called. Lunar Visions, 5 mana, draw 2 cards, minions drawn cost 2 less. This card sucks. So first of all, it's competing with Nourish, which is an insane card that doesn't see much play. And if you think of it in terms of divination, or arcane intellect rather, one of the 2 cards you draw has to be a minion, right? For you to break even mana-wise. You are ahead at that point, even though it looks like you're at the same point. So say it's a 5 mana minion. So I'm playing a 3 mana spell and then a 5 mana minion. I spend 8 mana. I play a Lunar Visions for 5 mana and I draw that spell off of it. I draw that minion off of it. It now costs 3. I play it. I played 8 mana, right? I should be even. But the fact that the impactful spell is the one that costs less means that I'm more likely to be able to swing a game with a huge tempo play by doing multiple things in a turn. You actually come out ahead if it hits a minion. And if it hits 2 minions, you're actually way ahead. The problem is that card draw is a developmental type thing as well as a super late game type thing. And super late game, your minions costing 2 less doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it helps, I guess, but isn't likely to be like make or break all that often. And early game, developmentally, you can't cast it until turn 5. So for those reasons, I think this card is quite poor. Kun, or Kun, I'm going to say Kun, the Forgotten King. A 7/7 for 10, very bad rate. Choose 1, gain 10 armor or refresh your mana crystals. This card goes straight into the Ancestral Memories Druid deck and nowhere else. Maybe there's a super controlling ramp deck that needs another life gain spell, and you can play this one. But generally, I don't think it's going to be good enough in like a normal Druid deck. You have to be a very specific type of Druid deck to play this. Look No Numbers says Lunar Visions is your 3rd Nourish and Miracle Druid. I mean, I believe that. It doesn't seem that worthwhile, though. Astral Communion is the name of the card I keep referring to as Ancestral Memories. Like, 10 armor is good, and being able to play a 7/7 and your just Sarah or whatever in the same turn is good, but meh. Just meh. Kuna Naviana combo? I guess. Jade Golem. Look at all these question marks. What are you doing?